Welcome back to another episode on the 350Z Drift Car, presented by Spec Clutch and Koyo Rad. Brought my main man Riley Sexsmith out here to try version 2.0 of the Drift Car with more angle and better alignment. If you've been following this build, then you know that we put some angle mods in the front. What were those? GK Tech outer tie rods and rack spacers on there. Gave us another 10 degrees of steering angle. And we also put Eibach front and rear cambered arms on it to get the alignment into a better drift spec.
Yeah.
We had way too much camber in the rear before and not enough in the front.
Yeah, it was like backwards to what you'd want in a drift car, basically.
And we've flipped that, but we still have maybe a bit more rear camber than we want. We're like 1.7, 1.8 in the rear.
Yeah, which for a street-driven drift car isn't outrageous. Like a pro car would probably be zero or very little negative camber, but you know, it's definitely an improvement.
It's an improvement. We were over 3 before, so we moved in the right direction, maybe not as much as we wanted. The front's good though. I think we have like 3.5 degrees in the front, which is nice. And we've done a little bit of tuning before we started out with tire pressure, so we put the rear to 40, the front's to 32, and we didn't touch the shocks yet, did we?
No.
So we'll probably go out, feel the car out, put some heat in the tires, and see what Riley thinks of the changes, and then if we need to, we'll start playing more with tire pressures and dampers. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right, well, in other news, I get really bad motion sickness, so I'm kind of tempted to let Riley go out, shake the car down, and come back and give me some feedback before I drive it. Does that make sense?
Whatever, it's your
car. Why don't we do that? I'd like to see what he thinks of it before I get in it and make myself sick with really bad amateur hackish drift attempts. So go show us what the car can do, and then I'll try to emulate what he does, but it'll be like 10% of what Riley can do.
Oh, more than 10%.
1% of what Riley can do.
More than
Let's be honest. It's going to be terrible, but I'm going to have fun trying.
This car feels lower than the
it does.
M3.
You definitely, I think you sit lower for one.
Yeah.
And just the ride height itself. The brakes are something else.
Oh yeah, the brakes are phenomenal in this thing.
I just got to get some heat in the tires.
Yeah, no, we can go cruise for a little bit, get this thing warmed up, get yourself familiarized.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it is about this car. I just feel incredibly comfortable right away.
Hey.
And I can't put my finger on it.
Sometimes the vehicle speaks to you.
Just the pedal placement, I don't know. It's not like I've ever owned one of these, but I just feel incredibly comfortable. This car feels like talking to an old friend, and the BMW, I don't know, it's like talking to someone in a business meeting. It's hard to describe.
Now you're just being prejudiced. Come on.
It's not that. Like the BMW, I know on paper should be a better car, but there's something about the way this car feels. I'm just super comfortable with it.
See, even just grip driving it there, this car, I feel, is just so much more precise.
It is definitely more precise.
Yeah.
And it's got these brakes.
Oh man, you saved that.
Just the extra lock makes a huge difference for sure.
Yeah, you can tell already.
That would have been a spin.
Oh, that's good to know.
So that was definitely a worthwhile.
Oh yes, man.
Once you get it sideways, it's just so predictable.
Oh yes. Oh, look at you riding that line. Oh man.
That extra lock definitely saved me there for sure. Now this car, you can definitely feel it has a lot less forward bite. It goes sideways a lot more than it drives forwards, where the M I think is way different.
On a clinic here.
Well, PT, what'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah?
They're two very, very different cars. You can definitely tell the M3 kind of has a lot more forward motion, more twitchy, a little bit more rolly, where this thing feels stable. It doesn't have as much forward bite, but let the man tell you more.
Yeah,
I mean,
it looked
that's
good.
all that I know, and I'm no pro.
Yeah, it's like jumping right out of one end to the other. This car, definitely, I'm more comfortable in it for some reason. I don't know what it is, if it's the seating position or something. I just feel very at home in the car. Driving impressions, it's a little less twitchy off of going straight. Like you can carry more speed and it's fairly planted. Once you get it sideways, it snaps the angle pretty quick. The extra lock definitely made a big difference. There was multiple times on the track where with the old setup I would have spun for sure and was able to just hang on to it. There's a couple saves. It wasn't, you know, it was still right at the edge, but it gives you that extra kind of safety net to work with. It definitely doesn't have the forward drive. So when you get the car sideways, it doesn't want to dive to the inside like apex of the corner, whereas the E46, you get it sideways and get on the throttle and it just like rockets to the inside. So given you guys are on fairly similar sized tires, I have a feeling it's down to the suspension geometry between the two cars. I think it's just the kind of nuances between the two setups.
Interesting.
But I find it super easy to drive, and now I see why so many of these are becoming drift cars for people, because it's just very, very beginner friendly, confidence inspiring.
See, the problem with this whole discussion is now it's going to make me look even worse because I can't drive the easier car well.
I mean, it's super hard to drive. Like, you can't drift this unless you're like a top level player.
Oh, that's what I want to hear. Yeah. Okay, I feel better now.
Well, and we should also mention the parking brake works.
It does.
Yes, there you go. So 1 out of 2. It's not great, but
it's not amazing, but it worked. It definitely did a better job than BMW.
You didn't have to use your left hand this time.
No, it's still kind of a funny angle for me.
Yeah.
It is, but
it works
better than what it was. So.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, well, I'm gonna go make myself sick now.
It's time for you to get in there, DP.
Let's see how bad I really am. All right,
let's do this.
The last time I tried to drift this car was in December.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
It's 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's May now, isn't it? It's May 1st or May 2nd?
Got to get the rust off.
Yeah.
Cobwebs out. I took good care of it for you, don't worry.
Oh, it looked good. I'm thinking I'll just do the front loop like we did before.
Whatever, hey, it's your show. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Dove was saying that the noise in the back side of the track kind of like pisses off the neighbor.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta be more forceful than that. Too gentle.
Hey, I'm just warming up. I can't really steer fast enough.
Yeah, I kind of ran into that a little bit too. Beautiful. That's more like it. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I'm stiff. I'm like,
you gotta
I'm not loose.
Up.
I'm all stiff in the upper body. I'm like a cadaver. I'm like, I'm fighting it instead of like letting it do its thing.
You just gotta like flow with it. Let it go. There we go.
Wants to straighten a bit there, and I don't have any ability to really predict what it wants to do at those angles because I'm just not used to playing in that space.
It's all, you know, it all comes with practice. Once you run over enough stuff.
Got out to the curb there, right?
I thought we were going to say goodbye to the left rear wheel.
That felt good. Starting to feel it a little bit.
You got to get the adrenaline going.
I can also feel like there is more angle to work with.
Definitely.
Like, I think I would have spun it there before.
Yep.
Because I was right over.
Yep. But that's perfect. It's not too much. It's not like a full drift car, pro car, but it's enough to have fun with.
I can't quite get that prediction there, but
because once you lift, it's just going to shoot straight.
It wants to go straight, yeah. Pointed. I need to come off the throttle more gradually, eh?
Very gentle, yeah.
Right. Actually a half-decent drift.
That was a thing of beauty.
You can initiate this car with a flick really easier than I thought. Like,
yeah.
I was clutch kicking it before, but now I'm just like trusting that I can flick it in.
I love the good flick, but yeah, the way it's set up, you can just chuck it in and it steps right out.
Just like get aggressive on entry.
That's perfect. Don't lift yet. Now we're good. There we go.
Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Starting to suck slightly less, Riley. It's exciting.
Yes, the flick. Oh, it's a crowd moment. Get into the dirt.
me to drive like that 16-year-old kid on my mom's
perfect.
station wagon.
No, that was, it brought a tear to my eye. I'm so proud.
Clearly I need to spend more time in the gym, Riley, because I'm still huffing and puffing after what, 4 or 5 laps.
Work on that cardio, yeah.
It was a workout. I do find the steering effort's high, but I'm also fighting myself so much. Like I'm so tense and stiff in the upper body that I'm like, I want to impose my will on it instead of like, you know, real drifters are like really loose and relaxed in the arms, and they're just kind of like, they're so chill. It's like they just smoked one and
just chill.
Yeah, I got to chill more. But once you kind of gave me a pep talk and I started to trust myself a bit and the car a bit, we got some decent drifts in there.
I would say so.
But we had an interesting idea. We actually brought the OE wheels and tires that were on that Rec 350Z that we pulled the interior out of. So we're going to throw those on the back and just see how it changes the car. See what a lower grip, narrower tire will do for it. Yeah. If it'll be more forgiving, easier to slide around on. Will it be too much of a grip differential front to rear? I mean, I guess we'll find out.
It'll definitely not allow you to be as aggressive on the flicks because you'll just end up spinning.
Yeah.
But you'll lose that like really hard bite to straighten because you're kind of at the grip level limit for the horsepower you have.
Yeah.
So you're always right on that fine line of like the car gripping and straightening with the OEM size tire and like not a very high grip tire.
Yes.
It should allow you to be a lot more, lot less aggressive with the car, and it won't fight you so hard to slide.
So what are we putting on here, Riley?
We're putting on, so this is a super top secret drift compound tire.
Okay.
That hasn't even been released on the market yet. It's called the Riken Raptor.
Yeah.
It's actually made with pieces of real raptors that have been extracted from the earth, stored in a warehouse, and they've put bits of real raptor in them.
Converted. You know what I want to know? Why am I swapping
yeah, exactly.
tires?
Why are you?
I started doing it.
Because you're the only one who gets shit done, PT.
You got the
That's
gloves.
right, I am.
You got the gloves. No,
Let the record state.
So,
look at the tuck, boys.
Well, this wheel may have a little bit of concave in this weird area here. So
yeah, these were on the wrecked car, so we don't really know.
This is how you just send it, right?
I mean, if they vibrate a lot, we'll just come back
For
in.
the record, one of the wheels on that side is cracked.
Okay.
Just so you know. So do not go off, DP. I'm warning you right now. If you hit a curb with that side, that wheel is going to explode.
I make no guarantees, boys. Let's see if we got a bad wobble from these. It already feels kind of wobbly, to be honest.
oh, just a small wobble.
We definitely have a wobble.
No big deal.
Whatever. Let's try them anyway. I'm curious because I have no reference point for sticky versus not sticky drifting, so.
Well, this will definitely be not sticky. Oh yeah, you can feel it already. But it doesn't try to kill you.
Yeah, like it doesn't come out as violently.
Yeah.
For sure, more forgiving. And it takes a lot less throttle to get it to angle and keep it there.
It's just a less, it requires less commitment to keep the car sliding.
Yeah. Hey Pete, do you have life insurance?
And just like that, I think our day here is done. DP, drive a little bit forward here. That wheel is right messed up. Oh my goodness. It's just a little wobbly, guys.
Well, that was a successful experiment and a failed one. A failed one because one of those wheels is bent so badly that the car was kind of like walking up and down in a straight line.
We should have known.
We should have known, but we figured we'd give it a try.
Yeah, give it a shot.
And I did get one decent drift in turn one, and it was a completely different experience.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to flick it as hard. It just goes into a drift much more easily. And then you can hold that drift and add angle with the throttle because you don't need to go to full throttle to drift on such a low grip tire.
Yeah.
And that like opened up my mind to the possibility of throttle steering more while in a drift, where I couldn't do that on the Zakrovas. You probably could because you're able to throw it in more aggressively and not need the throttle as much.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to like fully mat it just to get it in the drift, and then to hold it, I had to stay to the floor. So it didn't give me the option to steer with the throttle.
Yeah, those lower grip tires definitely give you a lot more modulation and just kind of allow you to play with the car more, where it seems like every car you've driven so far for drifting, the STI,
yes,
this car and that car are all set up for being like pro
cars. Yeah.
So
and I'm the opposite of that.
It requires so much commitment to make it work, whereas like a low grip setup really allows you to play with everything, and you know, it doesn't fight you so hard.
I can see how learning on a low grip tire would just open up your mind to the possibilities of how to enter a drift, how to hold a drift, how to exit a
Absolutely.
drift, and then add grip. And you know, as you add grip, we could also add power. Like if we add another 200 horsepower to this, then these tires we could overpower more, and that would give me space.
It would
to
give you the
throttle steer.
same, things will just happen faster, but it'll give you the
Exactly.
same experience where you don't
Yeah.
need to be flat on the floor all the time.
Yeah.
You can modulate the throttle and really use it to change your angle and all that stuff.
So I don't know. I think we're gonna have to mount up some cheapies on the back of this car just so that I can develop as a.
We're gonna
as
take
a drifter.
those Riken Raptors and mount them up on the Koenigs.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I think that's what we should do. So maybe next episode, that's what you'll see. I think we're calling this one a wrap for today, though. Not a Raptor, but a wrap. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and thank you, Riley and Enviado, for letting him play hooky for a few hours.
Thanks, guys.
And sorry, Nam, for leaving you alone at the shop today.
Sorry, Nam.
We do apologize. So we'll let this guy get back to work, and we're gonna go do some other stuff. Maybe get to work on PT's M3 some more. Get him out here, get working on those drift skills, and see if we can get better at this thing.
If you hear a loud bang from the back, that's the wheel falling off.
Yeah.
Okay.